The challenge with most people who want to move to the UK who aren't able to get a visa is probably that they can't get a company to sponsor themselves. And that could be because they aren't able to crack an interview, or simply because the job they do is not highly in demand. Or in the case of student visas, because they don't want to spend a ton of money studying in the UK, because it can get really expensive. Which is why the visa I'll be discussing today is quite literally a lifesaver when it comes to wanting to move to the UK. You don't need a company to sponsor you, you don't need a college to accept you, you simply don't need anyone to get this visa. This visa allows you to move to the UK for 2 years and experience life in the UK. And you might have guessed from the video, this visa is called the Youth Mobility Scheme. And the best part is that for the first time, this visa is being offered to Indians as well. Now, this visa or this route is specially for people who want to experience life in the UK for up to 2 years, and it is for people from eligible countries or territories. So, the route is for people who are aged between 18 to 30 years, and it's really straightforward and easy to apply. So, there's no requirement for you to get a company to sponsor this visa. There isn't even a requirement for you to come to the UK and work. So, it's really as flexible as it gets. The only drawback was that initially this visa was only available to certain countries and territories, but India just got added to that list, and that's 11 countries now. So that's good news for all of you. So, why is this even important for people who want to move to the UK, or what does this mean for you? Now, traditionally, if you wanted to move to the UK, you needed a visa, and you could get a work visa or a student visa. To get a work visa, you needed a sponsor or somebody who was willing to sponsor your visa to move to the UK. To get a student visa, you needed to apply to a college, get into the college, and then pay a ton of money as college fees. This visa essentially takes care of all of these problems because, like I said, you don't really need anybody anymore. This visa allows you to move to the UK, experience life completely in the UK without having to work, without having to study, all commitment free. So, in terms of the eligibility, your nationality must be one of the following. You should either be a British overseas citizen, or a British overseas territory citizen, or a British national overseas citizen, or a national or a citizen of a country, or the holder of a passport issued by one of these countries: Australia, New Zealand, Canada, India, Japan, Monaco, Taiwan, Hong Kong, South Korea, San Marino, and Iceland. Each of these countries also has a quota issued for the number of visas that will be granted. Australia has the highest number of visas being granted with 30,000 places available. India, on the other hand, has 3,000 places available. Now, when it comes to Australia, all those 30,000 slots don't get used up. But in the case of countries like Hong Kong or anywhere in Southeast Asia, the slots do tend to get filled up faster than expected. So they actually run a lottery system for those slots over there. In the case of India, too, there will be a lottery system which will allow people to apply for these slots. The other criteria include you need to be between 18 to 31 years, and you must prove that you have savings of £2,530, which is approximately 2,50,000, for at least 28 days before applying. There are additional rules for Indians. The applicant must hold a qualification equal to or above the RQF Level 6, which is basically an undergraduate degree. You must prove evidence of this qualification from an issuing authority, or you must have minimum 3 years experience in any of the professions listed in Table 1 or Table 2 of the appendix Skilled Occupations. You can visit the link in the description box below to see all of the professions there. Now, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, now's the time to absolutely do so. Go ahead, click subscribe, and click on the bell icon for notifications. Now, something you need to bear in mind. You cannot get a youth mobility visa twice. So if you've been issued it the first time, and even if you meet all the criteria the second time round, you will not get that visa. The other thing you need to bear in mind is that you're not eligible for this visa if you have dependents who are under the age of 18, or if you have dependents that are financially dependent on you. And finally, the other thing you need to bear in mind is this does not allow you to live permanently in the UK. This visa doesn't allow you to apply for an indefinite leave to remain. Now, coming to how to apply. You must apply online for this visa, and the application fee is £259, or approximately 26,000 rupees. You'll also have to pay the health surcharge as a part of your application, which is usually approximately £470 per year, or approximately 47,000 rupees. If you're from Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, or Taiwan, you must successfully be selected in the Youth Mobility Scheme ballot before you can apply for your visa, which I also suspect will be the case with India. As a part of your application, you will need to prove your identity. How you do this depends on where you're from and what type of passport you have. So you can either have your fingerprints and your photograph taken at a visa application center, and this is to get your BRP, which is your biometric residence permit, or you can use the UK Immigration ID Check app to scan your identity documents and create or sign into your UK visa and immigration account. Now, coming to the status of the Youth Mobility Scheme for India, it was supposed to be open in January. It opened for the other countries in January, and they had announced that they would open for India as well, but it didn't. So at the time of making this video, it still hasn't opened, but hopefully it shortly will. I think it might, like very, very soon. Tell me in the comment section below if you have heard anything on the Youth Mobility Visa and when you think it's going to open and if you plan on applying. So there are a lot of theories floating around on why the ballot didn't open earlier, but in all honesty, it doesn't really matter. What matters to you is when it actually starts. So you could do one of the two things. Either you can keep checking my channel and I will give you an indication or an update when it actually opens up, or what you could alternately do is set a Google notification alert for Youth Mobility Scheme India in Google, so that as soon as some news comes up about this, you are the first person to know. Now, if you get this visa, you will be allowed to work in the UK and study in the UK with very, very few limitations. You can't be a sports person or a sports coach, but apart from that, everything else should be good. You can also be self-employed, but here's the thing. You can only be self-employed where you have no employees and the total value of any equipment used for your business is below £5,000, and you do not own any premises from which you carry out your business other than your home. Now, if you plan on moving to the UK, you're obviously going to have a million questions in your mind, and it's important for you to get all the information on moving to the UK before you actually get here. Now, the easy way to find out all of those answers is to check this video.